Hey everybody, Chris here, and as I'll talk about in the episode, I'm actually in London as I record and post this, and I'm doing it kind of last minute because I'm going to be holding a meetup on March 8th, 2026. And this episode goes out about 4 days before that, but it's not too late to get together and nerd out about electronics. So if you go to theamphour.com/London2026, no dash, no underscores or anything like that between London and 2026, or go to the show notes, you'll see a link to a registration page and you'll get updated information there. Really looking forward to seeing some of you having electronics, and I'll bring some, you bring some, we chat about our projects, catch up after 10 years, because it has been 10 years since I've been here, which is pretty wild. I'll also be at Embedded World in Nuremberg the following week, so if you're there, please look me up. I'll probably be on LinkedIn and similar to correlate some meetup times, and I'm looking forward to seeing other people at that very popular conference, and I'll have more to talk about there. All right, here's the show. This is the Amp Hour Podcast, released March 4th, 2026. Episode 717. Back on the road in 26.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
You sounded a bit busy before the show.
I am busy, yes.
Lots coming up, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to be actually...
Travel, you mentioned?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Embedded World this year, so that's good.
That's in Germany?
That's right, that's the Nuremberg show.
Right.
There's now a US version as well. That's in October or something, November. This one is the one that usually happens in the early spring in Nuremberg, Germany. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'll be hanging out there, usual spots, kind of like near the chip hall, near the Zephyr booth, that sort of thing. So I'll be over that way.
Okay, right. Yep.
Yeah, so there's a couple meetups I may try to get to, but we've talked about in the past. I think are happening again. The PCB Arts usually has a meetup. There's the IoT Stars has a meetup. Those are the two main ones. So yep, I'll try and get to those.
Well, I am traveling all the way into the Sydney CBD.
Whoa, that could take upwards of 45 minutes.
It could. It could. Yeah. Yes, there's another Sydney hardware meetup on the 12th of March. So I haven't actually registered yet, but yeah, I probably will.
Dave, I believe in you.
Yeah,
you can
I can do it. I should just get off my lazy ass and go in and socialize with other humans.
Single button.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not something that it's not something that I go out of my way to do. It's like, there's a hardware meetup, got to go. It's like I've got to kind of like make myself do it, kind of thing. I don't know why.
We all do, Dave. We're introverts.
Yeah, I know.
It's part of the game, man.
As I sit here in my lonely lab all alone. The wife never visits. She visits the lab about once a year, Yep.
Yeah. My wife, I mean, obviously our lab's in my house, but my wife walked in today and said, the kids were walking in here. I was like, don't step in here. Like you might step on a resistor or something like that. And she's like, yeah, clean this up before you travel. I think an animal make a nest in and amongst all the components. I was like,
right.
I resemble that.
Yes.
So, do they do lightning talks at the meetup you go to, right?
Oh, yes. I did a 5-minute kind of, yep. But only if you've got something to show off that's on the theme, because it's usually themed. I think this one's got product and positioning.
Yuck.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. Anyway, so I guess the talks will be about, product design.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and how you what markets you're going after, and your users and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good. I mean, people need to talk about that.
True. I was going to say that I'm not allowed to have a lab at home
because
then I would live in the lab, and then she'd never see me, and it's bad enough that I leave to come to the lab here. We could sell our house. We could flip our house for a large property, because we're not. I know you've been to my house. It's not exactly big, and the land's
bigger
not
now
big.
than when I was there.
Oh well, yeah. We've got an extra story on top, and I'm not allowed to put a lab up there. Yeah, and we don't have land to build anything on there, right?
Right. Yeah,
so we could actually swap our house for somewhere nearby that has a hectare or something like that. We could probably swap it
Do it.
And outright swap, and then I could build my own and probably have some money left over. And then I could build like a gigantic, not shed, but
What's stopping you, man? Start right now. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Like she's not against the idea of actually, swapping for a larger property somewhere. But then she won't let me build a separate lab because I would just live out there.
No, you get there first and then you figure out the lab thing. Oh,
and then I figure it out, right.
That's
right,
and the lawnmower,
yeah.
It's an electric lawnmower. I need an oscilloscope.
Yeah, it needs 200 square meters, 3-phase power, and
right. Yeah. I have to make a new blade for the lawnmower. I need that CNC machine.
Right. I need all those CNC machines and the 3D printers and the laser cutters and the
Yeah, I had a genius idea with regards to meetups. I can just schedule a meetup like walking distance from my house. So that was the move, man. If I do it again, I think it's super easy.
Oh, that's because you've got nearby facilities that you can just walk there, right? Yeah,
make people come to me
within walking distance. Yeah,
the lazy man move.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess that's kind of the same thing here. If I really needed to, I could book something out within
just the local
walking
pub,
distance. I think local pub or something like that.
Actually, speaking of local pub, there is a chance I will be in London the weekend before Embedded World. So people are there, and I've done one meetup actually. The last time I was in London was 10 years ago. My God, 10 years ago, 2016. Yeah. So, I may be doing a meetup in London. That would be the weekend of March 7th and 8th. So cool. I will send something out or, raise a flag or figure out where I'm going to go. But it's going to be a pub.
How long does it take to get to London from your place?
There's a nonstop from my local airport, which is killer.
Oh, really? To London?
Yeah.
What is your local airport?
Raleigh, Durham.
That's an international airport, is it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, they have only 5 or 6, but for trade shows, it's great actually. So I can go to London, I can go to Frankfurt, actually where I usually fly into for Embedded World. That's in Germany. I can fly to Paris, Reykjavik in Iceland. No, not quite yet. That'd be a hop. Yeah. There's 1 or 2 other international ones, but yeah, and like big hubs in Europe, that sort of thing.
Right. So how long is the flight? How long is that?
I think it was only 8 hours or something like that. It's not bad.
Oh, okay, that's tolerable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like enough to like not get any sleep. Like show up and I slept 4 hours.
Yeah, but you watch like 3 movies or something like that, and you're pretty much.
I try to sleep, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you don't sleep,
Are you flying business?
Oh God, no. Flying is so expensive these days. Hell no. Oh my God.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't flown for
it's up
ever.
there. I mean, that's the thing. It feels like it's the same price as before, but it's like everything just keeps getting winnowed down, So like I'm sitting in like the back of the plane, like
right.
I don't want to pay all the
right next to the dunny.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like cattle class, and like so that is about the same price probably when I went in 2016. But, if you want to like sit in the nice seats, it probably is like double what I paid in 2016. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good to be able to go meet people in different parts of the world because I didn't go last year.
Well, it should be fun.
So I will announce about that. I have some hardware also that I built that might be done in time. I think I showed you that board, the 22 millimeter wide board, a circle.
Yep.
All those 0201 components. So those parts are sitting right next to me. I've got the stencil. I just have to get the gumption to actually try and place 0201s all over that board.
You had to go to 0201s? You couldn't do... Why not 0402 with like a really tight footprint?
Well, it's single-sided.
Yeah.
And it's got a ton of stuff on there. So it's got a battery controller. It's got a Bluetooth chip. It's got 16 LEDs. It's got hardware security module. It's got a weather sensor. It's got a magnetic sensor. I'm not done yet. It's got a microphone. It's got a buzzer. It's got an NFC. It's a lot. Like it's too much, really. But the big thing was this is like that donut design that I showed you in the past. So it looks like a donut going around a 32 millimeter battery. That required a BGA footprint, and now I'm able to get it down to a QFN to fit on this. So it's like much more reliable to do the soldering myself, and really the desoldering myself for if I mess something up. So that was a real tough time last time. I think out of the 5 boards I made, I only got 1 to work with my terrible solder paste application. So yeah, this will be much higher likelihood.
Fun times.
Yeah. What are you building these days?
I was just looking at a design last night, but I'm not building. I was just looking at the design aspects, looked at some data sheets.
Window shopping?
Yes, window shopping, as they say. And yeah, I might make another video. I did a video on it a couple of years back, but I might make another video. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, I saw you've been making some more like kind of fundamental type videos, almost like the DC offset on the scope and stuff like that.
Well, yes, that's DC offset on the scope, and then I still haven't finished my AC tutorial series, but I did 3 in a row there. They got the lowest views ever, so I guess nobody cares about AC basics.
Who needs AC power, Dave? AI is going to fix it. Duh.
Yeah, right.
AC, more like AI.
Yep.
I actually saw this ridiculous. There was a TechCrunch. Yeah, I get like that TechCrunch newsletter. And it was like, solid state transformers are going to revolutionize the grid. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? And like, first, I had to figure out what a solid state transformer is. And like,
state transformer.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know it beforehand.
Well, I can guess,
sure, give it a
there
shot.
could be several implementations. Yeah. Well, a solid state transformer is basically a DC. I would figure it's basically, instead of using a physical transformer, they're just doing a DC to DC converter.
On both sides. Basically,
thing.
It's like AC to DC,
right.
DC bus, DC to AC, right? So that way you can like switch it down, switch it back up, however you need to do there. Fine. But like, this was very, very, very obviously like the investors of this company paid for this article. Like, I don't say that often, but like, it's so stupid, right? It was like, oh, we're going to replace the grid. It's like, no, you're not. You're not going to replace what you're going to be doing, solid state. I know that there's high voltage DC. You can definitely do it, but like the insanity you have to do to get like that amount of like transistors in line to get from 380 kilovolts down to something usable. It's stupid. It's like, it's a science experiment, not a implementation, when the alternative is like winding wire around cores, right? And obviously that's a very big simplification as well, but like AC transformers are not going anywhere, right?
No,
they're like maybe at a data center.
But high voltage DC transmission's getting pretty big these days.
Sure. So, of course. But that's a different transmission method as well. And there's a bunch of losses there. That's basically saying, okay, we're going to take some losses at the transition from the high voltage point, or I guess the mid voltage up to the super high voltage, because we gain so much in the high voltage DC transmission over distance. Like, okay, fine, you want to say that, you're like basically doing trade-offs there, but like overall, and like all manner of transformers, like the transformers that are on the tower, on the pole outside of my house, like, nah, man, like just nah.
Oh, so they're talking about like using the existing AC infrastructure, but replacing the AC transformers with solid state transformers. So like a drop-in replacement.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying like, oh, this will replace everything.
No.
It's like, okay, you want to say this is going to replace stuff at a data center? Fine. Yeah, maybe. But like everywhere? I don't think so. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unless I'm fundamentally misunderstanding electricity, which I have done many times before. So,
but that just sounds dumb. If they're talking about drop-in replacements, there's like, no. Transformers are like 99% efficient, and they're super reliable, and because they're
right. And I was looking at like losses, and it's like, oh well, solid state ones are 96% efficient. It's like, okay, but like that percentage
that's actually a lot
over enough megawatts. It's like heat. That is like it's like damn, like 1% is enough to really take off the charts there.
Yeah, nah. Not
I guess we'll see, Dave. Maybe maybe we're talking through solid state transformers right now.
Well, I guess coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about 800 volt architecture, DC to DC converters and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
For AI data centers and things like that. So
yeah, I mean there are huge challenges to solve at data centers, but I think it's saying that's the tools for that job are going to solve the tools of the grid. It's someone trying to peddle something.
I can remember when I was working on high voltage stuff, and that was like 450 to 500 volts, and back then we didn't have the the high voltage transistors that we do these days, because this was like 20 plus years ago or so, and it was difficult to do high voltage stuff like that. There was very few parts on the market.
Stacks of transistors.
Very few things on the market that could do it. And now, they're pushing them to 800 volts, 1,000 volts and things like that.
1,200 volts, silicon
1,200,
carbide, stuff like that.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yep.
Gallium nitride, which is what we'll be talking about in a couple of weeks. So,
oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. That's great. I do think we have to, the high voltage thing, somewhere a lineman is laughing at your 400 volts.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see your 400 volts and raise you 400 kilovolts, right?
Exactly. Oh, not so. No, thanks. I don't want any bar of that. Anything over 12 volts DC scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's correct, yeah.
Is that the same with you? Like, do you get the heebie-jeebies working on high voltage stuff?
Yeah, we've talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about it, of course. Yeah.
Right. Yep,
yeah.
thought so.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of AI data centers, I just released a video literally 10 minutes before we went live or something, so you have not seen it. It's looking at the supply chain. It's looking at the supply chain all the way from a ChatGPT prompt right through to sugarcane.
Sugarcane?
Sugarcane. Sugarcane is an essential requirement of getting a ChatGPT output.
Is there a joke in here about a coder and like Red Bull or like Coca-Cola or something like that?
No. I will send you the link here so that you can great. So that you can see for yourself. Someone I follow on X actually made this, and it's very cool. It is an interactive supply chain thing where you can follow the dependencies from, in this particular case, the example that is used is from a ChatGPT prompt all the way back through OpenAI, back through Microsoft Azure, back to TSMC, back to some provider. Here is the link. I'll explain. Hang on. Yep. So if you have a click on the sugar link.
Yep.
It goes from ChatGPT to OpenAI to Microsoft Azure to NVIDIA, which goes to TSMC's parent, the subsidiary company which does the packaging, which then goes to, which does the silicon packaging, which then goes to ABF Substrates, which is a Taiwanese company, and they get the ABF film from a Japanese company who then get the varnish for the film from another Japanese company. The ABF film comes from a byproduct of fermentation of sugarcane. And these are all critical supply chains, and some of them are single source. So if something goes down, people don't know that. I think, did we mention this? Like 90% of the world's silicon comes from ultra pure, what is it? Oh, God.
Sand?
No. Where is it? Oh, God, it's in
North Carolina, I thought. Right?
Yes, it's in North Carolina. It's the pine. What is it? The spruce pine. Yes, we did talk about it. I'm sure we talked about it.
A couple years ago, there was an issue with it. They got a sourcing issue. Yeah.
There was a sourcing issue due to a hurricane, which shut down all supply from that, and the entire market just came.
Oh, that's right. It was when Western North Carolina got hit. Yeah, Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, with this hurricane, and it totally blocked off access to this one mine in the world that supplies 90% of the world's quartz, ultra pure quartz to. It's just mad. So, that's in Spruce Pine. Spruce Pine is the city, is the town or whatever, which has a town of 2,200 people. And
I feel like economic systems kind of reward the consolidation like that, though, too, right? Like Spruce Pine has, quote unquote, the best. I don't know what it takes about to make it the best quartz, right? But like
the best pure quartz in the world.
But their business is to try and export as much as possible, and so and if it is the best, then it won out over others. Interesting that economic systems kind of drive us towards these single source type of things in highly specialized arenas as well. They
do, especially as the technology gets so ridiculously advanced. I mean, we're talking 3 and 2 nanometer chips now, where the purity of the silicon is everything.
Yeah.
And that has to be spun, that silicon has to be spun from this particular quartz in this particular mine. It's the only one in the world that can supply the purest enough quartz to do it. It's crazy in volume. You might be able to get a little bit here and there somewhere else. You could find a small source, but
it's fragile. It's a fragile supply chain for sure. Yeah,
it's a fragile infrastructure. Yeah, it's nuts.
That is an interesting
I did a video
visualization.
It's fascinating.
You always tell a little vibe coding when you see Vercel. Which is fine, like that's cool.
Right. I don't know. What is Vercel?
Vercel's like a not necessarily vibe coded, but I've done a couple Vercel apps if that tells you how easy it is to use with some vibe coding.
Got it.
But basically it's like a kind of web platform that gives you databases and front end host. They have front end hosting as well, and basically kind of pieces it all together. So, and really very good documentation as well. So yeah,
and it allows you to do like these interacted bubbly things. Yeah, I could, but for what use?
Yeah,
you have to have a need.
I know.
You can't just go in there and play with it. You've got to have a need.
You totally can. I mean, when I used Vercel, was Vercel for that one? No, I used the other one too, Netlify. Netlify was the other one I used. But like, when I spun up like a location app that could like, I don't know, hold like I was using like Thingy 91s. I think I told you about this, right? I was like Thingy 91s had like location data on them, but then also like your browser. Yeah, I definitely mentioned that on here. Your browser could so the person viewing it could also like type in their name. It could grab their geolocation from the browser, and then like it would be like a quasi anonymous like placement of a pin on a map. So if you were trying to like find each other, everybody could look at the same web page, and like you would type in Dave, you'd say I'm here. When you wanted to check again, it would update your pin, that sort of thing. So
got it. Yep. We used to have something like that for the forum, for the EV blog forum. We used to have like a mapping. This was before AI, modern AI, and there was this mapping thing, and people could put their little pin in there where they're from, and stuff like that. Okay. So I just go in there, make an account, and then I type in some AI prompt, and say I want to do a geolocating map thing. And
you could do it outside of it too. So like if you're in Claude, like at the time I was doing it was like I was using Gemini, and it's just like, it's like, what is the best way to host this sort of thing? It's like even recommending that I use Vercel or Netlify.
Oh, which actual platform right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because it knows all the documentation, that sort of thing. So it's literally like so abstracted. I'm not saying it's a right thing. I'm just saying that like when I see Vercel, I'm usually like, okay, this has probably been vibe coded because that's just a common output. It's not the only way, but it's
like the amount of work that's gone into this. The person who authored this has probably just gone in there and pull all the dependency news sources you can of which company is actually connected to what, because it's just something that they just added on X. I don't think they've been working years on it. It's kind of like, no, it's something that they, it's a decent amount of work, but it's not something that I think they spent months and months solid work on, And then all the data that they gathered was, maybe pulled in from, they used AI to pull in that data maybe. Because they otherwise they would have had to go out and research hundreds and hundreds, maybe even 1,000 different news articles and, how all these companies are tied together and everything else, Whereas that is something that you can use the AI for, going out and finding all the dependencies with information and stuff like that. So
just let her rip, man. Just let your OpenClaw go out and do this overnight, and you just wake up to a new pretty chart, What could possibly go wrong?
What is the thing with OpenClaw? It's just like you don't have to be reliant upon a ChatGPT or
you still do.
or a
you still
Grok
are. Yeah. No, this is like a agent that lives on your local machine that you might give access.
Oh, it's just an agent. It's not actually like a large language model, self-contained large language model.
No, it's not like self-hosted.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, right. So this is like an agent that like sits on your computer. It's allowed to modify its own files.
Yeah.
So like as it, discovers new things, it can modify its own its soul document. It's called, and it's a weird time.
Anyway,
I don't know enough about it to speak. Yeah.
Right.
I've only really thought of one application for it that I'm like kind of interested in for it. Like I don't care. A lot of people are like getting their OpenClaw to talk to other people's and like do all this stuff. The only one I've thought about is like I really hate Discord. I think I've said this before. I know we have a Discord, but I just can't be in there. I don't get it. And there's so much like locked away info there that like having an OpenClaw instance that's just like sitting there summarizing what's going on. I don't want it to like respond to ask me or anything like that. I just wanted it to sit there and like summarize, tell me what's going on, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Got it.
That I'm not like, and it's just Discord is such a...
Well, everyone's abandoning that now. Didn't they just say, there's an age thing now, verification. Everyone's got to do like biometric age verification or something.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I know they're going to go public, and that is probably the beginning of the end, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Discord, biometric verification. And everyone just went, nope, I'm out. Discord launches teen by default settings globally. That was 9th of February. Yes. So everyone's account is going to be teen, is going to be demoted to teen account, teen level. Yeah, so it's super
teen
safe or whatever, unless you can prove that you're an adult using, biometric scanning or some crap. Oh, I didn't mention this. Speaking of biometric scanning, I went to Raging Waters, which is one of these water fun parks. I swear I can tie in the biometric.
Okay, no.
Right, so
I went to a water park and they were scanning my bios.
Seriously, right? So we go into the water park. We have our bags and got our bag, change of clothes and everything and all this stuff.
Oh, I know where we're going here. I know.
So we're going to put that. Yeah. So we're going to put it in a locker, right?
Yep, I figured it.
And we see all the lockers over there. Walk up to the locker and and I'm going on there, and the only way you can use the lockers is biometric face scanning.
No.
I kid you not. No, they had one other method, which was an RFID tag. So I went, screw this. So I went over to the info thing and I said, look, I'm not scanning biometrically. Can I have one of these RFID tag things? And she said, oh, no, sorry, that's only if you've got like a season pass. And even then, we don't really think it works properly or something, And she said, sorry, I can't give you one. And I'm going, well, is there any other way to use the locker?
Should have drawn a face on your hand like Senior Wences and use that as your biometric, and you just have to have it there. I guess if it washes off in the water,
I was going to say, then I go on the slides and wash off. I can't get back into my locker. Oh, and she said no. And the other thing was, if I use the RFID tag, even if it did work, you have to get someone to let you into it using the RFID tag. So you have to go call a staff member to give you access to and it's like, oh my God.
So at a certain point, we're just going back to good old fashioned keys.
Yeah, exactly. A key that you put in you tie onto your, around your ankle or something, I don't know. Or just a PIN code. I mean, geez.
Yeah, I feel like we're rapidly heading back towards that sort of level of things.
Yeah, it's just dumb things. And so we went, screw that. So we just stored all their stuff under a chair somewhere and Bob's your uncle, Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. Nah, it's just ridiculous. I was not going to put biometric bloody face scanning for a locker.
Yeah. I know.
Unbelievable. I can understand if it's credit card or whatever, look, you pay, you swipe your credit card, whatever. Okay, I do that for everything else anyway. So that would have been acceptable, but no, biometric face scanning. Unbelievable.
That's wild. Yeah.
Right, so you would, you draw the line at the biometric ID, do you?
I don't know. I think it's going to be like a convenience thing at a certain point. I might do it. I don't know. Like all the passport stuff is face scan now too. You know that? I was so nervous walking. I went on a trip to Ecuador a couple months ago, and getting back to the States, I was flying through Atlanta. I was like, oh my gosh, this huge airport. Oh, it's going to be such a big deal. And literally it was one, we were the only plane that got there at the time. But then two, nice. I used to have global entry. Now it's literally oh yeah, we looked at you. You're cool. It's that's creepy.
You didn't even have to put your head up to something?
You don't have to do any, it's literally walk through. Global entry used to be well, we're going to scan your fingerprints.
Right, so they don't do the prints anymore?
Nope, no, not that I could tell. Or they already have my prints, so they don't need them anymore. I don't know. Right,
or they go, well, fingerprints, that's ancient. Geez, we want to scan.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I've got everyone's face scanned now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to force that on us, the Yanks. You Yanks, you said that, no, everyone outside America has to now supply biometric stuff.
Excuse me, please don't rank me in with the people that are forcing biometrics on people. I didn't vote for that.
Doesn't matter. Sorry, dude.
It's true. I guess I do get lumped in with.
Yep, you have to get lumped in. You have to.
Yeah, that sucks.
Can we talk about solid state batteries?
Sure. What's the latest?
Well, did we talk about Donut Lab?
We did, yes. We did talk about that.
Yes. Well, Donut Lab, let me send you a link. Donut Lab
They were the ones who made the ridiculous claims at CES, right?
The ridiculous claims at CES, and they're tied into some electric bike company or something that claims, or that the first customer for their whiz-bang solid-state battery, that basically every major battery manufacturer in the world has said, no, they can't do this. It's a scam, right? Mm-hmm. So they had this website that had a countdown. Oh, let me check let me see if it's still there. Donut website. It's Donut. What is it? Donut battery.
Do not think this is going to work.
I could hang on.
Do not go in there.
I can get it. I can get it if you give me a second. Oh, the capture. Because of all the AI bots, I've got to go through the EV blog capture on the. Anyway, they've got this.
Dave, am I talking to a bot right now?
Could be. Did you see the video I did on my AI voice cloning? I used a self-hosted AI clone that cloned my voice. It actually did surprisingly well. In fact, it could do better because the script I read was only 30 seconds, and I read it as a script, not as a sort of excited Dave voice.
Oh, like the usual Dave voice?
idonutbelieve.com.
Oh, okay,
that's good. Yeah, it's. I will give them props on their URL name. I do not believe. Anyway, have they still got the countdown? Yes, they've still got the countdown timer there. 6 days, 10 hours, and 7 minutes left until the next test report comes out. Anyway, they just released a test report yesterday from an independent VTT, the Independent Research Lab in Finland, has their test report. So, I haven't watched the video yet, but you can download their test report and everything. And it's like, the vibe I'm getting is that, It's like, it can charge very fast, but they don't tell you the weight of the battery, which is kind of the weight and the dimensions, which is kind of critical if you want to determine the energy density of the battery, which is one of the big claims they made. So they're still hiding that. And the fact that, they can charge it at charge rates of 11C, right, which is pretty quick. We're talking, 280 amps or whatever into the cell, right? Super quick. But it did actually go up about 20 degrees in temperature. And they only did the one test. There's no characteristic curves, let alone characteristic curves over temperature, let alone endurance characteristic curves. It's sort of obscurity by authority is a term.
Wait, is it Donut Lab hosts the site? Is that right?
This is Donut Lab's site, yes. So they did this website so that they can dunk on all of the haters, right?
That's pretty good marketing. I mean, like, okay,
I know, it's pretty good. I'll give them that. It's pretty first-rate marketing. Oh, everyone's talking about it, right? Including here on the Amp Hour.
Yeah, that's right.
People don't understand that, they've sent it to this independent, reputable third-party company for testing. It must be legit, right? What people don't understand is that whether it's UL or whether it's VTT or whether it's ETL or whoever the company is, okay, you can simply tell them, here's the product. You physically give them the product, do these exact tests under these conditions, and make a report. They're not testing to any standard. They're not testing to any industry standard unless you ask them to, and they haven't in this case. There's no standard whatsoever. These companies you pay them and they will legitimately do the tests, but they will only do exactly what you tell them. They won't do anything more or anything less. And they won't speculate. They won't go, we think this is a bit dodgy. We better do this test as well. No. They will do exactly. So this company has handpicked what tests we want to be done and what we want included in the report, and you're only to do that. So when you see companies doing that, you start, sniffing around going, what are they hiding, Anyway, it did seem to increase 20 degrees Celsius, which is not great for longevity and stuff like that. So everyone's down because you can stress test cells, right? You can take existing cells on the market and then put them through a few tests, and you can exceed their maximum charge ratings, their C rate, right? You can do, it's rated, you can, maximum charge is only 5C, but you can charge it at 10C. It's just that you're going to ruin the life of it, right? So that's what everyone on the forum's talking about at the moment. And It's going, well, yeah, you can make it past these tests, but whether or not it's revolutionary, like game-changing technology, because if their claims are true, everything else is obsolete. Every battery company in the world is instantly obsolete overnight. Every EV battery in EVs and home storage and everything is totally obsolete overnight. And it's like, yeah, really? Okay, sure.
I guess I didn't even expect this level of anything, so I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yes, everyone's fascinated to see what the next test report's going to say. And there's the countdown timer, 6 days until the next test report, and they're going to just dribble out these test reports for the next 6 months. Why they have these test report
timers,
no, it's all pure marketing. So anyway, they do have something, but it doesn't seem to be anything better than possibly overstressing some existing tech. I don't know. Anyway. Remains to be seen, but consider me skeptical.
Skeptical is your middle name.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Oh, boy. Yep. Anyway, I don't know if I'll do a video on it or not. Probably not. I'm just,
until there's more data.
Yeah, there needs to be more data. Yep. Yeah, there needs to be characteristic curves and stuff like that. I can remember Batterizer tried this. Yeah, remember Batterizer?
I do.
Yes. Batterizer. Oh, they sent it to UL, Underwriters Laboratory, right? The most reputable test thing on the planet, and had it tested. So therefore, all their marketing claims must be true. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Once again, they had they had them test a very specific thing, and that was it. And then they plastered UL certified all over their website. And UL actually saw that, and they actually tapped them on the shoulder and said, hey, no, take all that down. You are not to say this is UL certified. We did just a specific test that you asked us to do, and that was it. That is not permission to use our company's logo plastered all over your product. And sure enough, they had to take it down. So, oopsie.
So what does it take to be like the actual UL certification then?
Oh, it probably requires to meet a standard or something like that, because these companies specialize in testing to standards. So if it's a multimeter, if you're testing to a CAT standard or whatever, then they will test it to that standard, and then they will register that in their database as, yes, it passed that standard, that your particular widget passed that standard, and then I believe you're allowed to use the UL logo. But these companies you can hire them to test anything, right? Just any random thing, and they'll do it for you. They will happily take your money and test it, supply a report, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to use their logo.
Right, yeah. They have other things that are contingent on actually using that mark and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, something like, I'm not sure of the exact details, but it's something like that. So anyway, I do recall them having to get them to take it down. Yeah, they had to say that they're not UL certified. Otherwise, I can, get a free energy thing, get UL to test it, and yes, it's outputting 1,000 watts. Okay, then they can write a report saying, yes, it's outputting 1,000 watts, and that's all the report will say. And then, you had a hidden battery inside there, right? It's not free energy at all. You had some hidden, primary battery in there or whatever. They're not allowed to take it apart. They're not allowed to inspect it. They're not allowed to do any free thinking. That's not what you're paying them for. They are not a debunking organization. They are simply a test organization. You pay them to do one particular test, and then, yes, this is a UL certified free energy machine. It actually, gets 1,000 watts out. Yes. But it doesn't mean it gets it out forever. So that's where they'd sue your ass if you tried to do that. But they'll happily take your money and test anything you want. So,
Yep.
That's why I was offered $20,000 in the flight to Canada once if I came and verified this guy's free energy machine in Canada.
Should have done it, man. Canada's beautiful sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it is very nice. But I turned that one down.
Was $20,000 contingent upon actually certifying it?
No, it was. I can't recall the exact details, but
Mr. Chance could have been hanging out and eating poutine.
Oh boy, I'm finally watching Silicon Valley.
Oh, really?
Yes, because my boy Sagan, he's now very interested in watching.
You're letting
Silicon
him watch
Valley.
it. Okay. That's a different flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we're watching Silicon Valley because he loves these style of shows. So, yeah. So, yes.
How far in are you?
Oh, we're like 5th or 6th episode into the first season or something.
Okay.
Fourth or 5th episode in.
Oh boy. Enjoy the last episode of the season and the conversation you'll be having with your son about that episode.
Oh, great. Okay, you can tell me about that after the show. Okay, that is a parental warning, is it?
Yeah, it sure is. It is probably the funniest it's like one of the funniest bits in probably the season.
Right.
The season for sure, if not maybe the whole thing, but my God.
Okay. Because he freaked out, like he really wanted to watch it. He was so keen. And then he came in one day and he went, "It's R-rated. It's R-rated. I can't watch it." And it's like, and I go, "No, this is American R-rated. It means there's drug references and there's, sexual innuendo or something like that, you know." And it's like, And so we started to watch it, and sure enough, that's exactly what was in there.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad language and sexual innuendo and drug use or whatever. And it's like, big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yep. So anyway, you can tell me about that after the show. All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. My God, I think I've watched that 3 times through now.
Well, he's almost 15, so you know.
Yeah. Of course. You should be like live tweeting your takes. I mean, obviously, it's been a couple years since that show has been finished now, but
it's ancient.
It still holds up, man.
12 or something.
Russ Hanneman.
Yeah.
What a brilliant character.
I can't believe they mentioned like Bitcoin in it, because that must have been very early on. Because that was like 2012 or something. And
yep,
that must have been like, it was $1 back then or something.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So yeah,
and for a pizza,
And right, yeah, exactly. Yes, that might have been before the Bitcoin.
Yeah, there's a gap. I mean, like that's the thing. Like that show is so amazing for like, obviously Mike Judge like talked to so many people in the industry about it, and it is very spot on, accurate portrayal of a lot of things. Working in a startup, Dave, I know all about this,
Yeah,
right, of course.
Yep. Yeah, because see, he loves Utopia.
Utopia.
But it's called something else in the US. Utopia. Did I tell you about that show?
I know Euphoria, but I don't know Utopia.
Okay, no, it's Utopia is an Australian TV series. It is called Dreamland in overseas. It's called Dreamland. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've got to watch it. If you work in the public service, it's basically, there's this mythical Australian government department board called the Nation Building Authority, right? And the show's just all about them trying to build infrastructure and stuff. And of course it never happens because of what, it's all public service. And everyone who works in the Australian public service says they can barely watch it because it's so hideously accurate to what happens in the public service. So, yeah. And it's absolutely hilarious. And he loves that show. So Silicon Valley is kind of like a startup version of it.
It's a good, cautionary tale as well.
Yes, cautionary tale. Yeah.
Son, don't get yourself into startups. Don't do like I do, son. I'll have that talk someday.
Anyway, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I think you'd really enjoy Utopia or Dreamland in the US.
I'll check it out. Yeah, that's great.
Yes,
that's great.
It's done by some famous people here in Australia. Right. It's done by Australia's equivalent to Mike Judge.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I have been in the market for a laptop. And I recently bought one. I didn't end up buying the framework, but I finally dug into the framework. Have you ever looked at that?
Right, because didn't Jeff do a video on the framework laptop?
He did do one about the 16. The 16 just came out. Yeah. I was looking at the 13.
What's the 16? Is that the model number? Is it?
So it's basically the diagonal size. Sorry, in Freedom units, but it's a 13-inch versus a 16-inch laptop.
Got it.
And so they just named it after that. Right. Yeah, no, it's really interesting how they do the modular plugs though underneath. I'm sure people.
Yeah,
probably
apparently
know
it's
about
really
them.
good, but it's like at the wrong price or something. It's the wrong price at the wrong time or something. Or that was the gist of the video. I haven't watched it all.
Oh, Jeff's review. I don't remember what the takeaway was from that. I mean, That he was showing, again, the 16 has like an actual like physical slot for GPU and has, it's all very modular and stuff like that too. But the repairability, so like Louis Rossmann has a video about his framework a couple years on, and it's the 5th year of framework as well. So like there's people who have basically ship of Theseus their own laptop, which is super cool, where you can basically, the ship of Theseus is like you like replace every part of a ship, and is it technically still the same ship? The chassis would be the same, I guess, would be the only real thing in this case. But even that, I suppose you could switch that out too. But yeah, I had never really looked into the plugs on there, and so like they have these slots on the underside where you can have modular plugs that are it's all USB-C into the main board, but then from USB-C it's then converted out to like DisplayPort or HDMI. And so they basically have these like kind of plug-in modules that do that conversion for you. I'm not sure what the actual standard is, if it's truly just USB-C, but they can pass through the 100-watt power for charging. They can do HDMI, Ethernet, all that stuff, and just a really fascinating space.
Hang on, they've got a desktop as well?
That's right. Yep, exactly.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'm just looking at the list. I just Googled it, and Jake from Linus Tech Tips, former employee, he's done a video on that.
They have a different channel too, right? Linus does the Short Circuit, I think, did it.
Oh, okay, right, yes,
yeah,
they got several channels. Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up buying a different producer who has the same chipset that's in the desktop. They don't have that in the laptop yet, so that's why I wanted to like go upmarket a little bit on the laptop.
I would not be able to use a 12-inch laptop anymore. The screen's just too small. My eyesight's just, not.
Yep, same.
Like I used to use like really small laptops. I used to use all the little
PC.
Yeah. And before that, I had a Daewoo. I had a Daewoo.
That?
You remember Daewoo, the car company?
Didn't they have trucks?
Yeah, Daewoo had trucks and everything, and they made laptops as well back in the day. And I had a Daewoo. Wow. Yeah, I had a Daewoo laptop.
Wow.
Great. Yeah.
Do you have any photos of that?
Well, no, because I didn't have a digital camera back then. This is like before.
Right, of course.
Small laptop. It probably looked like this. I'll send you the image. Something like that.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like the quintessential like laptop of the 90s, right? Like
yes,
90s,
very 90s. Yep,
very
thick, kind of thick brick like. Yep, kind
very
of thing.
Very loud keys. Yeah.
Yep. And I used to have a trackball on the side. I used to hang like one of those trackballs on the side of it. One of those laptop trackballs, a thumb. So you use your thumb as the trackball. Oh man, I was legendary with that. Yeah. Anyway, yes, Daewoo laptop. I don't know if I'd still have it. Don't know whatever happened to it.
Yeah, surely it's in the bunker somewhere.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but I don't recall ever seeing it in my travels around the around the dark
digging,
recesses of the dungeon.
Digging.
Yeah, keep digging. Yeah.
Sagan, someday this will be all yours.
Yours. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, so it's but like I said, the plugs are very, very interesting from a modularity perspective, because like you literally, like I don't know about you, but I'm always with my current setup, I'm always just like, oh god, if I just had one more USB-C or one more USB-A, and you get 4 slots, but you're not in dongle hell forever, so. Right. It's really interesting, and there's actually, it is an open standard too, so you can like go download the KiCad files. You can like, I don't remember what part they standardize on, but I think there is a standardized part that you can put on the board as well, so that you can have kind of custom interfaces. So like someone made like a LoRa interface. Actually, former guest of the show, Lucas Henkel, whatever his company's called, he does the amazing animations and explainers on LinkedIn and Twitter and stuff like that. He also had been working on like a alternative board that could fit in the framework frame. So
okay, right.
I ended up getting a Flow Z13 instead, which is actually an Asus.
Oh, it's a ROG.
A ROG, yeah.
Touchscreen gaming laptop, ROG Asus.
It's like an insane tablet with like an AI.
Oh, yeah, right, gotcha.
Processor on there, yeah. So.
Yep, it's got one of those removable.
I don't care about
keyboard
the keyboard
things. Yeah, right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, my coworker pointed me at it, and that thing's a beast. So, video editing, local models, stuff like that. So
And it comes with Windows 11. Do you nuke that and install Linux?
Yeah, that's getting Ubuntu on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Sagan's into Mint now.
Oh, nice.
He's doing everything with Mint. He's nuking his machines. He's doing.
Yeah, Mint is.
He just set up his own Minecraft host. Set up his own Minecraft server yesterday. And
nice. Yeah, that's the Cinnamon desktop is really nice. I was on that for a while. I think I switched back to Ubuntu because of the kernel on my laptop that had a modem. It had like a cell modem, and it was only working with like a certain version of the kernel, and Mint wasn't there yet. And so I ended up switching back to that, which was fine.
Right.
I liked Mint quite a bit though. So a different coworker got me into that. Are you like the old man still using Windows? Is that what we're hearing here, Dave?
Yeah, I'm still using Windows. I'm thinking about switching.
Oh, really?
Okay. But I did a troll post on X that went viral.
Oh, no.
I basically said, paraphrasing what I put, but basically, can all you Linux experts out there please just tell a newbie like me which is the best, the absolute best version of Linux to use? And then it went viral. Yeah. It went like I knew it would start a fight, right? That was the whole point, right?
Opinions are like belly buttons, Dave.
and then I got Grok. There were tens of thousands of responses. So I got Grok to actually summarize and list all of the recommendations, and I'll see if I can find it. But Mint was number one, and then Ubuntu was number two. But like I had about 30 different versions people recommended.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
It's it was, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the consensus was that Arch was like, if you really wanted to put hair on your chest, you install Arch.
Yeah. You know, that's the compile everything from source, that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like one of the reasons that I switched to FreeCAD, one was just being upset at other providers. Like Fusion 360 was like my first love for CAD, right? Like for mechanical CAD. And that was holding me in. Once I got rid of like Windows video editing, that was the only thing holding me there because I don't use Altium. The Altium is another one that holds people there. But I think like Fusion is another one that holds people there. But like, I don't know, even just you could do Onshape and KiCad. That's great. You don't have to use FreeCAD. In that, Onshape's all browser based if you want like a high end thing. And I think so many things are browser based these days. You really could get away with a lot more and do things like the switch to Mint or similar. I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not as big a deal as it used to be, and when Windows updates are insane these days. So,
well, I found it. I just sent you the screen capture of
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, that's great.
Like that's not the latest up to date list, but it should trend out pretty well. Yeah, Linux, Mint, then Ubuntu, and then Pop. I've never heard of Pop.
Yeah, Pop's another
Pop OS. Like 46 people recommended Pop OS, way above Debian.
Like it's that's very friendly interface. Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, I mean, they're all like, it's like a family tree though, right? So like,
of course.
So like, Ubuntu comes from Debian, right?
Yeah.
And Mint comes from Debian.
Yes,
and Fedora comes from, I don't know, further up the tree.
And then there's Solus and Puppy, and there's Slackware, and there's Antix, and there's RHEL, and there's Lubuntu, and there's Catchy OS and Bazite, and oh my God.
Yeah, Bazite's like a gaming one. Yeah, they're all over the place. But like often they're just kind of small, not small tweaks, but like, UI tweaks, things that are, usability things that are on top.
Exactly.
So a lot of the kernel is tied back to I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day of like my first harrowing example of using like a Unix machine. I was having like sweat dreams about it. So it was in college and I was in like a chip design class. And I never used Linux before. I never used Unix before. It was a Unix machine. It was like a Solaris machine. And you had to go to the lab and like, just use it there. You had like a interface to one of the Sun Microsystems.
You had a dumb terminal.
Yeah, exactly.
You had a VT100 terminal.
No, it wasn't a dumb terminal in that case. It was an actual it was a Sun Microsystems actual desktop.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But the other option was you could remote in, and it was like, the lab was closed and it was like 2 a.m. and I had to like figure out how to do this. And like, I had never used Unix before. And it's like, just like SSH in and then start next server window and navigate the file system. And I just like didn't know how to do anything. It was the worst possible, like just thinking about like your son using a very friendly Linux distribution like that with like UIs and like all the tutorials and stuff online, and like versus, God, that was such a bad time. It was such a bad time. It was amazing it could happen. You know, I was still across campus using these tools, but like, and then at the end of the day, I was still using friggin' Leonardo Spectrum to like do something I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't know what I was doing.
And you were using the original command line PSpice, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
And
good
why
times.
did I go to chip design, Dave? What a wonderful place. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
The person I was telling it to, they're like, I bet they still use that those computers are still using that software and that flow. It's like, yeah, probably. It's just like,
oh, boy. So, yeah, apparently Minter's the go-to if you're just a Windows user and you just need to switch over to Linux or want to for some reason, just install Mint and it's the most Windows-friendly like thing and it just works. You know?
It's great.
Yep. So I might do that on my one of my lab PCs here. Not sure about doing it on my main editing PC, although pretty much the only, you know, most of the stuff I'm doing on here, there's nothing Windows-specific.
Yeah, I mean, you can get Blackmagic.
DaVinci Resolve, they have a Linux version,
That's
so
right. Yep.
I assume it works. You know, yeah, but really, there's no point. You know, that'd just take me days to get up to speed, and you know. But I might do it. You know, I was thinking about doing it on my machine that does my packing and shipping, and my other lab streaming machine or something like that. You know, those ones I could easily convert over. So, yep. Cool. Could do it.
All right, man.
Will probably.
It's the year of the Linux desktop for Dave. All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
KiCad 10 is out. I think the release candidate's out. I have not tried it yet. That's on my list of things to try. The release candidate being what's going to hopefully, you know, like bug fixes and stuff like that. But
yeah, I thought it was actually released. Everyone talks about it on X like it's actually been released yet, but technically hasn't. Is that correct?
Yeah.
There's only the release candidate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Until they get a significant amount of bug fixes from that, I don't think they commit to it. Right. So, but yeah, you'll see it when 10.0 is cut. You'll see that. And
that's a big double digit to go to double digits. Yeah. That's kind of like, you know, a big psychological thing. It's like it must be more better, you know. It must be an order of magnitude better than one.
I don't know if we talked about it on here. There's a forum post on the KiCad forum about all the, you know, kind of all the things it's doing. It's a lot of incrementals, right? But that's how it kind of marches along. It doesn't have to be anything like groundbreaking. Yeah, there it is. Top post on KiCad forum.
Oh, I just found out something interesting today, just before the show.
What's that?
You know how I did the videos on the 3-cent microcontroller, the Paduk.
Oh, yeah.
Microcontroller.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, people have always asked, well, what company would use one of those? I just found out today. Rode. Rode microphones.
What are they using it for?
They're using it in the Rode Wireless Micro, which is one of those wireless microphones, not the one that I've got, which is the Wireless Go, which is the upmarket one that does video record, does audio,
like the point-to-point for cameras. Like you have a receiver unit at the camera, and then the other one.
Yep. Yeah, I think this micro is designed for your shoe phone or whatever. Like you plug it into your USB-C, and then you can then which is the receiver, and then you plug it into your, and then you have the wireless mic or whatever. So I'm not sure which end it's used, but so I know the guy who wrote the code for it. And he said, yes, it only had 6K of memory, and I had to hand code everything to fit into this 3-cent microcontroller, you know. So, yeah.
I didn't think the Paduk had like ADC on board or anything. Did they go external for an ADC, and then it's just
I have no idea. I have no idea for which purpose it's being used. It could be an auxiliary function or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah,
like a...
So, yeah, I don't think it's actually processing audio. I don't think it's, you know, doing something like that. I don't think so, but I didn't get further details. I just heard that, it was being used in there. So, cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, on the other end of the spectrum, did you see P. Moroni or Pi Moroni? I never know which one it is.
Yeah, right.
They overclocked an RP2350 to like 800 megahertz.
800 meg, I saw that.
Oh, my God.
What is it normally, like 150 meg or something? 120 meg?
I think 180, I think is the standard.
Right.
Maybe 130, maybe 133. Yep. But yeah, it's a lot lower than 800.
And
Yeah, it's
and they
pretty
had
wild.
to test 10 different chips before they'd find one that would actually do that. Because, there is variance in the chip. It's not like...
Yeah, well, I think they cooled it like crazy too. I
Right,
think that was the
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this week.
Cool, man. I'm about to spoil Silicon Valley for Dave so that he saves his son from. Yeah.
Oh, well, don't spoil it. Like, at least tell me just the danger I've got to look out for.
Got
or
it.
whatever.
Got it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
Catch you next time.